Did the Big 12 Conference make a huge mistake letting UCF, Houston, BYU, and Cincinnati enter the league 2 years early? And is it imperative that Oklahoma and Texas pay the full exit fee when leaving the conference? Pull up a chair, sit back, relax, and let's talk about it. What is up, college sports fans, Big 12 fans, and fellow members of Mountaineer Nation? This is Couz, and welcome in to another edition of Couz's Corner. Pull that chair up and let me serve you up this shot of top-shelf college football content. On tap in this episode, we're talking once again about Big 12 expansion, the 4 new members entering the league, and how that may or may not have been a good idea for the remaining 8 members. So let's dig into the content. I got this information from an article that was written by Dennis Dodd of CBS Sports. I'm going to share that on the screen with you, and then I'll kind of give you my thoughts on the whole situation. Headline reads, early exits for Texas, Oklahoma could help Big 12 repay members that agreed to diluted revenue upon expansion. Should an early exit by Texas and Oklahoma from the Big 12 be agreed upon, the negotiated financial penalties associated with those departures would be utilized to aid the conference's expansion. Those monies would help make whole the 8 legacy Big 12 programs whose media rights payouts are being diluted to help fund the arrival of the league's 4 newest members. Now, I wasn't aware of this. I was not aware that the 8 remaining schools were paying for the new ones to enter. Now, I was wondering where the money might come from. Well, now we know. It goes on to say, Baylor, Iowa State, Kansas, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, TCU, and Texas Tech. And I think they omitted West Virginia by mistake there because later on it talks about 8 teams. It says they agreed to share a portion of their media rights distributions from the Big 12's existing deals with Fox and ESPN to make possible the league's recent expansion with BYU, Cincinnati, Houston, and UCF, joining the fold in the 23-24 athletic season. The vote was 8-0 in favor of the move, with Texas and Oklahoma abstaining, multiple sources tell CBS Sports. Each of the 8 legacy Big 12 schools agreed to forego $16 million total, which is $8 million annually in 23-24 and 24-25, approximately 19% of their $42.6 million annual distributions, sources said. Each of the 4 new Big 12 members are set to receive $18 million and $19 million annually, approximately 40% of the original annual distribution. The 4 new schools will each receive a full share of media rights revenue when the Big 12 begins its new deals in the fall of 2025, a source added. That full share will be a base figure of $31.6 million annually. Big 12 officials believe the all-in figure will approach $50 million per school once NCAA tournament and college football playoff revenue is added. If Texas and Oklahoma leave after the 23-24 season, they would be on the hook for early termination fees, with each surrendering at least their final year of media rights distribution. CBS Sports previously reported those early exit fees could total as much as $168 million. However, such a penalty would likely be negotiated down to about 60% to 65% of the original total. Industry sources said that final figure would go a long way to helping the remaining legacy Big 12 programs recoup the $16 million dilutions they agreed upon. Here's what former Commissioner Bob Bowlesby had to say. That money has to come from someplace, so the other members have to take a dilution as a result of it. That's the only place to go to get the money. But in the end, whatever the conference gets out of OU and Texas in exit fees and makes on the grant of rights will likely go to reimburse the schools. It likely will balance itself out pretty well. While there has been growing buzz that a deal for Texas and Oklahoma to depart for the SEC early is near, there is no evidence of formal negotiations. Now, I'm going to do a little math for you here. If Texas and Oklahoma pay $468 million, the new Big 12 members would definitely be made whole, because they would be making, if they distribute it just to the 8 existing members, 168 split up 8 ways is about $21 million per school. That would more than make up for the $16 million they are giving to allow the new members to join. However, if they are allowed, or if they accept a lower buyout from Texas and Oklahoma, a lower exit fee, and let's just use the 60% number as an example, that comes out to $12.6 million per school. That means there would be a shortfall of $3.4 million per school. And I don't know about fans of you other 8 teams, but West Virginia can't really afford to be giving up $3.4 million for something like this. At least I don't think they can. So I think they need to really hold Texas and Oklahoma's feet to the fire here and force them to pay the entirety of their exit fee, the entire $168 million. And of course, the 168 is an estimated number. But I'm of the belief that taking a lower exit fee is not acceptable, because if you do that, then it potentially hurts the existing 8 members who have been loyal to the league and are staying with the league and who the league needed to remain whole. Those 8 teams should not be punished, in my opinion, financially for what they've done, for allowing the new 4 members to come in. Now, allowing the 4 new members to come in when they are probably did help them a little bit in media negotiations. I actually put a tweet out to Bob Thompson myself and asked him this question, and he responded. And he basically said this. Matter of fact, I'll just show you what he said. Here you see the tweet thread where I tweeted out. I had asked him the question once, but I didn't phrase it properly, so he misunderstood me, so I rephrased it. Could they have gotten the deal, meaning the Big 12, the new media deal they just got the extension on with ESPN and Fox? Could they have gotten the deal knowing the members were set to join in 2025 and weren't joining early? So basically what I asked him is, if these 4 new schools had not decided to join in 2023, but instead were going to wait it out and come in 2025 like originally planned, would the Big 12 still have been able to get their media rights deal? And just trying to understand why them joining early benefited the other 8. And here was his response. If they were known to be joining in 2025, they very well may have gotten a deal done early. There have been instances where schools have changed their minds before joining conferences. Joining early, it left no doubt that the conference would survive, which was paramount to the 8. So that answered my question. Did the Big 12 schools make a mistake by allowing the 4 teams in early? No, they did not. I don't think they did make a mistake there, because it helped solidify the conference. It helped stabilize the conference, and it showed the networks, ESPN, Fox, whoever they're negotiating with, that, yes, we are united. We have 12 members. We will be 12 members going forward. Here's the inventory you will have. It gives them an idea of what they will have going forward and will make the networks more comfortable to sign a deal. So that was good, and that was important for the remaining 8 schools. However, what I think they don't need to do, because of what I said earlier, they need to make sure Texas and Oklahoma pay the full, I think it's $80-some million exit fee for leaving the conference. Now, Texas and Oklahoma might cry about that exit fee, but they signed the agreement. It's a 99-year deal to where any team that leaves the Big 12 has to sign an exit fee, an early exit fee. And you also have to give 18 months notice, by the way, which they might have already passed that point to get out early. I don't know. We'll see. But, yes, these exit fees are often negotiated, but in this case, I don't think the Big 12 should budge. I think they need to hold their ground. If Texas and Oklahoma went out early, they need to pay the full $80 million to get out, because that will make the remaining 8 members whole, and they will be able to recoup all the money they paid out to let the new members join. But if they do negotiate it down, they don't need to negotiate it down to a number that causes them to lose money. That 60% number, like I mentioned earlier, they would lose $3.4 million per school approximately. They don't need to do that. These schools, we already can't compete with the Big Tens and SECs of the world. We can't afford to take another $3.4 million haircut. Okay? So, Big 12, do not, if you're listening to this, do not let Oklahoma and Texas leave without making sure the money exists to make the other 8 members whole. Please do not do that. Okay? I'm asking you, as a fan of one of those teams, please don't do that, because we need that $3.4 million or more, whatever it comes out to stay whole. With that being said, Big 12 fans, if you're one of the fans of one of these 8 teams, do you agree with me? Do they need to hold Oklahoma and Texas' feet to the fire, make them pay the full exit fee? Or is that something you don't want to do? Because here's the devil's advocate argument. If you do that to them, what if our team wants to leave? Let's say West Virginia gets an offer to join the ACC and wants to do it. If West Virginia and the conference holds Oklahoma and Texas' feet to the fire, you could be setting a precedent there that becomes a future precedence. And every team that leaves from here there on out has to pay the full amount. So you do have to be cautious, because you may be setting a precedent for future teams that may want to leave the league as well. So there's kind of a catch-22 here. Hopefully they can come to some agreement that still makes the 8 whole and yet still keeps everybody from setting some unrealistic precedents going forward. So that being said, I want to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments section. If you're a Texas and Oklahoma fan, what do you think about this? How do you think all the teams can be made whole? Also, if you want to support my channel financially, please do that. You can check out my merch store, get yourself a hoodie, a t-shirt, a ball cap, a coffee mug, all kinds of different products to choose from over there. The link is in my description box. There's also photos of my merch right below the description box. Click on one of those photos. It'll take you right into my merch store. You don't have to buy that particular item. It just gets you into the store. It's much easier way than searching through the description box. Also, if you are in the description box, check out the Fanatics link there to get you in the Fanatics store. Anything you buy after clicking on that link will help support my channel here at Couz's Corner. You can hit the Heart Thanks option right below, make a one-time donation. You can also support me through Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. All that's in the description box as well. And last but not least, you can join Couz's Corner, become a channel member, pay a very small monthly fee, take advantage of the perks I have to offer here, like early content, some members-only content, members-only live streams, some behind-the-scenes content that I give occasionally, things like that. And you get to enter contests. I do contests once in a while. You get to take part in those. So all of that is available to you if you want to take advantage of it. And if you want to support me for free, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that's free. It's all easy. And it's still a good way to support my channel here at Couz's Corner and help my videos get promoted out to more people. With that being said, I really appreciate you tuning in to this episode of Couz's Corner. And until the next one, Q Country Roads.